He killed his own son, built a cathedral, then allegedly blinded the architects so they could never build anything greater. History gave him a nickname, Terrible. But in Russian, the word is Grozny. It doesn't mean terrible, it means formidable, awe-inspiring, the kind of power that makes people look away. The name was always more complicated than it seemed. So was the man. He was 3 years old when his father died, 8 when his mother followed. After that, the boyars took over, powerful, noble families who had waited for exactly this moment. They used the young Ivan as a figurehead, a child on a throne, and forgot he was watching. He saw men dragged from rooms in the night, allies disappear without explanation, loyalty traded like currency between men who smiled at him during the day. Ivan didn't forget a single face. He just waited. At 16, he did something no Russian ruler had done before. He didn't take the title of prince, he created a new one, Tsar, derived from Caesar, a claim not just to Russia, but to the legacy of Rome itself. He reformed the legal code, restructured the military, brought the church closer to the throne, built something that looked, for a time, like genuine order. The boyars who had ignored him as a child were now watching him. For a moment, that was enough. Then his wife died, Anastasia, the one person he trusted completely, gone after 13 years. Ivan believed she had been poisoned by the same nobles he had never fully trusted. Modern analysis of her remains found traces of mercury and lead. He may not have been wrong. From that moment, something shifted permanently. The reform slowed. The circle of trust collapsed to almost nothing. Suspicion took the place of every relationship he had left. And once it began, it never stopped. Ivan created a state within the state, a separate territory, a separate court, a force that answered to no law but his word. The Oprichniki. They rode black horses, carried a dog's head and a broom on their saddles. Symbols of what they did: sniff out treason, sweep it away. They confiscated land, executed without trial, destroyed entire families on suspicion alone. This wasn't justice. It wasn't even punishment. It was fear, organized into a system. Then came Novgorod. Ivan believed the city was planning to defect to Lithuania, so he arrived in January 1570 and stayed for 5 weeks. The archbishop was arrested, the monasteries stripped, citizens brought before him in groups. Estimates of the dead vary, between 2,000 and 60,000. The records were not kept carefully, or they were kept and destroyed. He didn't just want the city punished, he wanted every other city to hear about it. In November 1581, Ivan argued with his son's wife, objecting to the way she dressed. His son Ivan intervened. The argument escalated. Ivan struck him with an iron-tipped staff. The blow was fatal. His son died 3 days later. Ivan held him, called for doctors, reportedly wept without stopping. The man who had dismantled every threat to his power had destroyed his own succession in a single moment of rage. After his son died, Ivan never recovered. The Livonian War, 24 years of fighting for Baltic territory, ended in total defeat. The lands gained, lost. The treasury exhausted. Entire regions depopulated by war, famine, and flight. The Oprichniki had consumed the stability they were meant to protect. The nobility was broken, but not replaced. The system required Ivan's hand on every lever. When that hand began to shake, everything he had built shook with it. Ivan died in March 1584, reportedly mid-game. A chessboard in front of him, a king mid-move. In his reign, he had tripled the size of Russian territory, established trade routes with England, built St. Basil's Cathedral, created the foundations of the modern Russian state. He also left behind a country too traumatized to hold itself together. Within 15 years of his death, Russia entered the time of troubles. A decade of famine, civil war, and foreign invasion. He built an empire, then made it impossible to survive him.